So let's go ahead and get started. Get seated on your mat in your comfortable seated position, and feel free to just find that seated position and start moving in this little sort of wave motion, okay? So just these little side to side waves. Start loosening up that spine a little bit. Awesome. I hope you are all doing well this week and moving through everything, navigating this new world we're living in, right? All right, now let's stop our wave going this way, but let's get our wave going this way a little bit by bringing our fingertips to our shoulders and just starting with some gentle shoulder rolls. Keep that spine nice and long. Your sit bones are just rooted down, right? You know, wherever our feet are or whatever is touching the earth is where we root from. And for right now, it's our sit bones. Okay, now let's go ahead, and when we come through the middle, bring those elbows a little bit closer together. They may touch, may not touch. And then we're going to bring them up and down and back. Okay, so as we come up, we bring them closer. It just depends on how your body and your shoulders are built, right? So just bigger circles. And feel free to stop in any spot, right? Like if you feel like, oh, this is really tight right here, then stay here. And then we just flare those out a little bit. Awesome. Okay. Now we are going to move into a little bit of a heart opener. So let's go ahead and just walk our fingers behind us. Okay. And if you can, if it's comfortable for you, I'm just going to sit this way for a minute. Go ahead, walk your fingers behind you and face your fingers towards your back side, okay? And you might be just on your fingertips, whatever. Again, it's about how long your arms are, right, and your torso. Okay, so we've got this nice heart opener. Now take some deep breaths. Settle into your natural breath. If this is not comfortable, then definitely go ahead and release. If this is comfortable, we're going to stay here and we're just going to drop our chin to our chest for a few breaths. And on your next inhale, go ahead and lift that chin up and let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. And now bring your head through center, left ear to left shoulder. And again, you know, we're in this heart opener. If that is not something that you want to be doing right now, then just release that heart opener and keep that spine nice and long. All right, go ahead and bring that head center. We're just going to get a little lateral movement and then we're going to move to all fours, all right? So go ahead and plant your right hand down on the mat, and when you're ready, just inhale that left arm up, let it come over, and this time we're going to move back and forth, really opening up. A lot of our practice today is going to be about opening, finding space, hip opening, shoulder opening. So even on this lateral bend, we're just going to keep moving back and forth. You know, I've talked a lot about hope and faith. The quote by Rabindranath, which I just keep trying to say his name, Rabindranath Tagore, about faith is the bird that feels the dawn and sings when faith is the bird, helps if I get it right. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings even when the dawn is still dark. Go ahead and come back to center. And we'll just gently spinal twist. You can either bring your arms up or just walk those hands over, bringing your left hand down on your right knee, unless you went in the opposite direction. Look out over that shoulder, the shoulder that's towards the back. So we've talked a lot about hope and that faith of knowing that things that tomorrow will come, that things will continue to move forward, things will continue to progress. And hopefully, obviously, we want it to progress in a positive direction. Let's release, and now let's just walk through the middle, come over to the other side. But I've talked before about hope, and I was watching a yoga video this weekend, and I heard we're going to come through center. Go ahead, let your hands just rest on your knees. I heard one of the instructors refer to hope as a muscle. And then she went on to go into a pose, and I was sort of like, oh, hold the phone or hold the pose, because I have to think about that for a while, right? Let's go ahead and move to all fours. I have to think about the thought that, you know, you think about the muscles in your arms, in your legs, in your spinal column, but thinking of hope as a muscle, as something we intentionally work to strengthen, to become more flexible. Hope, a muscle. Speaking of flexibility, let's move into some cows and cats. So we're in our all fours position. Let's drop that belly for cow. Now this first one, we're just going to stay here and take maybe 3 inhales and exhales and just really let yourself come into that cow, okay? And now let's move into the cat, and same thing, we're going to stay in the cat position for a little bit, tucking that tail, tucking that chin, pushing the earth away. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Now let's go ahead and just move through some regular cats and cows. Follow your own breath cycle. If you want to stay in one longer than the other, you're welcome to. Let's meet on at all fours in a neutral spine. Moving into our thread the needle. Inhale that right arm up. Take just a second while you're up there and really feel that stretch coming through your chest, your shoulder. And then when you're ready, go ahead and thread that needle by bringing that arm through, bringing that right cheek down to the mat. Options for that left hand. You can stretch it out long in front of you, of course. You can bring it into a bind and really open up that shoulder more. You can also place it flat on the mat and really push into it a little bit, and you'll get a little twist. So again, just all options, whatever feels better for you right now. Take a few breath cycles. And we're going to push into that left hand and inhale on up. Stretch those fingertips high, release them to the ground. On the other side, inhale that left arm high. Give a little wave, activate those fingertips. And on the exhale, go ahead and thread the needle, letting that left ear come down to the mat. Again, that right arm, maybe you want it to walk forward. Maybe you want it in a bind. And maybe you want to really push into the ground. All options, of course. Take a few breaths. All right, let's go ahead. If that right hand is someplace else, go ahead and bring it under your face. And as we inhale, let's raise that left arm high. Release it to the ground. Coming back to all fours. Let's fire up and build some heat in those abs with a little spinal balance, okay? So when you are ready, we're going to go ahead and lift that left arm. Right arm, left foot, but you can do it either way. All right. Flex that lifted foot. Pull that belly up so your front body is pulling towards your back body. Release that down. Let's go to the other side. Lift that belly. So we don't have a sway back right now. Let's go to the other side. Release that down, other side. Coming back to center. Okay, so let's go ahead, curl those right toes under. Actually, don't worry about the right toes right now. Send that left foot back, and those toes will be your curled under. So you think we're almost in that shooting star pose, but we're just going to activate again those abs by, we're going to push into our toes as we lift that right knee off the mat. We're really in that plank position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that knee come down. Bring the left knee in, and then let's put the right toes, extend that right leg, tuck those toes. All right, and again, when you're ready, we're just going to push up, pulling that left knee in towards our belly, towards our chest. Really push the earth away with those hands. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release that down. Let's come into our child's pose. Knees wide as the mat, or maybe even wider. Head and chest come towards the mat, towards a block, a blanket, whatever you prefer. Take just a few calming, centering breaths here. And as you breathe, think about our practice today, our opening space and building hope as a muscle. Now either stay in regular extended child's pose, or if you want to go ahead and walk your your hands out to the right side. Maybe you put that left hand on top of the right hand and push into it. Really open up that left side. Now if you're on a side, go ahead and bring your hands back through center, and then let's walk to the other side. Place that right hand on top of that left hand. Really feel the opening, the space in that side body. Awesome. Let's come back to center and then slowly meet up in all fours again. Preparing to find that first down dog. Maybe you're first, maybe it's your 20th for the day, right? Walk those hands forward, maybe about a hand length. Curl those toes under, send those hips up and back. Find that down dog, all right? When you get to your down dog, make sure to adjust it. It's almost like you go through a little checklist, right? You know, I think down dog, warrior 2, really in every pose, but a couple poses like warrior 2, you mentally do that a lot, right? Make sure your hands are near the edge of the mat, so your hands are wide, your fingers are pushing into the earth, particularly where your knuckles meet the mat, and you're finding length. I'm finding my shirt is choking me a little bit. Finding length in that upper body. If you want to be pedaling out your dog, go ahead and do that. Again, finding length, opening up that spine, letting that light in. All right, from here, let's walk our big toes together. And let's lift that right leg high. We're going to bend it and open it for just a little hip opener early in our practice. So just a little one. Maybe you want to roll that ankle. And now let's release that down. And left leg comes up for a little hip opener. Maybe you roll that ankle, maybe you don't. And release that down. All right, from here, let's again lift that right leg high, bend that knee, step or help it through to find your low lunge. All right, so when you find your low lunge, as always, you know, I'm always adjusting, my pants keep sliding. All right, when you find that low lunge, do a little checklist for that knee and that ankle. Plant your left hand. Now, as we open up for a low lunge twist, really push into that back leg so you're lifting yourself up. Bring those fingers up. Give a little wave. And release that down. From here, we're going to root down and rise up into high crescent lunge, or if you prefer, warrior 1. All right, so when you're ready, go ahead and root down, rise up, square your hips forward, then find that awesome high crescent lunge. Let the shoulders come down and back. Again, if you prefer to stay in warrior one with your heel planted, that's awesome as well. All right, now let's just open up to cactus arms. Awesome. Stay there for a minute, and now we are going to, as we lift our arms high, we're going to straighten our leg. So as we inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg a little bit. Arms come up, and as we exhale, we come back to cactus arms. So inhale, straighten, exhale, cactus. Inhale, straighten, exhale, cactus. One more, inhale, straighten, exhale, cactus. Let's bring those hands down to frame that front foot. Step back into your high plank or your knees plank. Okay, find that nice strong position. When you're ready, we're going to all meet in down dog, but this first time, let's just all either drop our knees or keep that plank with our knees up, and let's just all lower to the ground. Just on the mat if you run out of mat. Sometimes I run out of mat. I think I need a mat a little bit longer, huh? All right, hands are nice and firm on the floor, about chest location, and elbows are pulled in. And on your next inhale, we're just going to come up to little baby cobra. And exhale, release. Take an inhale and an exhale. And then again, when you're ready, you're going to come up on that inhale for that little baby cobra. Actually, I shouldn't say baby cobra, because we're in a big cobra. But you're welcome to be in a baby cobra, and release back down. Now, the third time, either come up into a cobra, or if you wish, you're going to push into your up dog by lifting those thighs off the floor. I ran out of the mat again. Opening that heart. Belly is pulled in. We're here for 3, 2, 1. And now whichever we're in, we're going to flip our toes. We are going to find our down dog. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and lift that left leg high, bend that knee, help it or step it through. Find your low lunge. Take a minute to get some stability there. And when you're ready, let's plant that right hand. Just really open up, lift that back leg, lift the hips so you're opening up the body. Give a little wave for those fingers. I can look out my window and see all the treetops, and it's so great to see how they're really leafing out. All right, let's release that hand down. When you're ready, root down and rise up either to your high crescent lunge, or wobbly as I'm wobbling a little bit today. High crescent lunge or your warrior one. Square those hips. Find that solid high crescent lunge. Arms come up, shoulders come down and back. Let's go ahead and open to cactus arms. All right, now either stay here or if you'd like, we're going to go ahead and straighten arms and legs and release into cactus arms. As we inhale, we come up. As we exhale, back to cactus arms. As we inhale, we straighten. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, cactus. And let's release those arms down. Frame that front foot. Stepping back into your high plank or knees plank. All right, we are going to all meet in down dog. So if you wish to go through a chaturanga right now, if you wish to drop your knees, lower your belly to the floor, come into up dog or baby cobra, whatever you prefer. Okay, we'll all meet in down dog. Go ahead and flip those toes. Come back into your down dog. All right, from here, let's just slowly bring our big toes together, and we're going to walk forward with little baby steps, one foot in front of another, until we find our forward fold. Now, especially if you've I was gonna say, if you've not been forward folding a lot today, but you know, really, would most of us be forward folding a lot? I don't know, maybe some of us are. Either way, put a good sized bend in the knees, all right? So that those hands can come down to the ground. Maybe you want your feet a little bit wider apart, maybe hip distance apart, because you want to add a little ragdoll by framing the face, moving side to side. Maybe you want to walk the hands from one side to the next. Okay, release that head, whichever option you are choosing right now. Just nod that head every so often to release that neck. All right. On your next inhale, let's come up to that halfway lift. Find that nice long spine, that number 7. Pull that belly in, slight tuck of the tail. If you wish to add airplane arms, hummingbird arms, go ahead. Otherwise, you can keep your hands planted. Now let's release into that forward fold and feel yourself melt down. Now maybe take a little bit of a bend out of those knees. So there's a bend, but maybe it's not quite as big. Now again, come into that half lift one more time. Release into that forward fold. Bend your knees, circle, sweep those arms on up, right? Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, sweep those arms up, come into your tall mountain. Exhale, hands through heart center. Namaste TV. All right, we're going to move into a little bit of a balance. Segment. We have segments today, right? All right. Not hummingbird this week. We're giving the hummingbird a break, okay? Although I say that, if you want to do hummingbird right now, do hummingbird for heaven's sakes, right? There is something about the beauty of practicing in your own home. You can be doing anything you want right now. And really, with yoga, that's what you should be doing, what you need the most. If you don't know what you need the most, then come along with me. And we're going to do 2 options, all right? One will be tree, and then one will be our standing figure 4, okay? So right foot is our starting foot. So we're going to just really root into that right foot, all 4 corners of the feet. And when you're ready, go ahead and lift into one-legged mountain, all right? Find that drishti, that focal point. Hands can stay here if they wish. At heart center, you can move them anyplace else. Now, if you would like to move into tree, go ahead and open that hip. All right, if you find your hip sagging, lift it up, open, and then choose whatever you want for your tree branches, right? If you would like to go into standing figure 4, go ahead and cross at that knee, all right? And then put a bend in those legs, send those hips back for that standing figure 4. Now you can stay here. You could choose to go into a forward fold if you wanted to bring your hands down to the ground. Okay. Whichever you prefer. Right, and if you wobble a little bit, we know that's okay. Keep that foot flexed. If you're in that standing figure 4, keep that foot flexed on that cross leg. All right, no matter which pose you are in, go ahead and straighten that standing leg. Lift that one-legged mountain up. Roll that ankle just a little bit. And release that down. All right, now just shake that out a little bit. It helps to kind of roll that ankle of the standing leg. And let's go to the other side. Again, your choice, tree, standing figure 4, right? Remembering one side's different than the other. So go ahead, ground into that standing leg. When you're ready, find that one-legged mountain, one-legged Tadasana. Ta-da! Hands can be at heart center, at your hips. Now go ahead and either move into your tree pose, right? You can keep that toe on the ground and the calf. You can help it all the way up, okay? Or if you wish, you can go into your standing figure four by crossing that leg, okay? And then go ahead and bend at the knees, send those hips down. Think about chair, right? We're kind of in that, oops. And as I demonstrate, if you fall out, you just get back in, right? Find that focal point, that drishti. Maybe you want to come to the forward fold on this side, maybe you don't. Right? Keeping in mind it always feels different on one side. Not always, it usually feels different. All right. Now, let's go ahead and release whichever pose we're in. Coming back to that one-legged Tadasana. Roll that ankle a little bit. And release that foot down. Now let's do a full body stretch. Let's come up on both of our toes. Just for a little balance. Lift and lower just a few times. And then just release that down. All right, let's head to the front of our mat if you're not there already. We're going to move into Warrior Two. Our right leg stays forward, our left leg steps back, and find your Warrior Two. Remember how I talked about a checklist before? Warrior Two, I think, is one of those checklist poses, right? Where, you want that knee over the ankle. You want your head over your heart, your shoulders over your hips. Right? It's kind of a list, but it's awesome. All right, pull that belly in. Arms are strong. Gazes out of the front, over the front fingertips. We've got our left hand in the past. We've got our right hand in the future. We've got our heart today. Our heart is here now. All right, let's flip that front palm and reverse that warrior. And either go straight up or go over into peaceful warrior, okay? Where you let that hand come over a little bit more. Your option. Creating space. Let's come on back to Warrior Two. Now we're going to move into Fierce Warrior, which we did last week if you practiced last week on Wednesday with us. All right, so what we do, our hands are kind of like a volcano, right? So the first one we'll just do a little bit more slowly. As we straighten our front legs, our hands come through heart center, and we open up. Okay, we're creating space. And as we exhale, we bring our hands through heart center. We put that bend back in our knee, and we push out. Okay? So our arms are strong, fingertips towards the ceiling. All right? So inhale and open. Exhale. Fierce warrior. Inhale, open and straighten. Exhale. Fierce warrior. Inhale, open. Exhale, fierce warrior. One more, inhale, open. And exhale, fierce warrior. All right, let's roll those wrists. Let them come on down. Straighten that front leg, and let's just reverse a triangle, opening up that right side body. All right, and we're going to come right on through to full triangle by reaching forward, letting that front hand come down to a shin, come down to the floor, whatever you prefer. All right. Gaze can be down at the floor, up at your lifted arm, heart is open. And really pull that belly in, push into the feet, come back to that Warrior Two. Now one more time in extended side angle, we're going to reach forward, and this time either your regular extended side angle, or if you wish, put a little bit of a bigger bend in that front thigh. Bring that front hand down near that foot and open up. You can also do our regular side angle as well. Creating space, creating openings. Strengthening that muscle of hope, right? All right, let's push into those feet. Pull that belly in. Come on back up. Straighten that leg. Roll those shoulders down. Feels good to have that front leg straightened. All right. Now let's do toes out, heels in, opening up again, creating space to five-pointed star, exhaling into our goddess pose. Take a minute to find your pose, okay? I'm gonna do a little lateral stretch. Put your right hand on that right thigh. The left hand is just gonna sweep down and open. You know, you kind of think of extended side angle. Left hand goes to left thigh, right arm sweeps down and open. All right, so we'll inhale, right arm comes through, left arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, that's the right arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, release. I keep saying the opposite arm, so hopefully you are going in your own direction, one on each side. And last one. Now let's straighten those legs. Might feel a little good, right? Okay, now let's come back down into our goddess feet. Now choice here, stay in your goddess as is, or maybe you want to lift one heel, then lift the other heel, or maybe you want to lift both and balance. Okay, you choose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's sweep and open up. Bring those hands through heart center. Let's travel to warrior 2 on the left side. Back foot just travels. Right or front foot, the toes go out. This is an awesome way to face because I have a window open here and the breeze is coming in. I think we should have been doing it on this side the whole time. All right, do your little checklist, right? Check that heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Move back and forth a little bit. Find your warrior center, right? Right hand's in the past. Left hand's out there in the future. Heart is in the present. All right, let's flip that front palm, reverse that warrior. Either reverse warrior or peaceful warrior by letting that arm come over. Come on back to that warrior 2. Moving through just our regular side angle, we'll let that front arm come down. Back arm comes up, straight up, all the way over, or in a bind, you choose. And now let's come back to warrior 2. Fierce warrior on this side, all right? So as we inhale, we straighten and open, and as we exhale, we come through and push out. As we inhale, we open. As we exhale, push out. Inhale, open. Exhale, fierce warrior. Inhale, open. Exhale, fierce warrior. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, really push out this time. We're just going to hold for a minute. Fingers towards the ceiling if that's comfortable for you. We're in this fierce warrior. Hope. Hope is fierce, right? So we're building that hope muscle. Hope is a fierce. Hope isn't passive right now. Hope is fierce. Fierce in a good way, right? All right, let's move in to a triangle. So let's go ahead, let those wrists come down. Straighten that front leg. Reverse that triangle. And now let's move straight through to extended triangle. Reaching, reaching, letting that front arm come down to the shin, the floor, whatever you prefer. Really opening that heart towards the ceiling. And breathe. Keep those feet grounded in. It's okay to have a little bend in that front knee. I tend to want to lock it, which we shouldn't do. Let's pull that belly in and come back up to that warrior 2. Now, we're going to move into extended side angle one more time. So either into your standard extended side angle or down, oops, I stretched a little too far, where your fingers come near the arch of that front foot. Back arm comes up and over. All right, just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's really pull that belly lift and come back in to that warrior. Let's straighten those legs. Bring our feet parallel. All right. When we've been bent in the warrior so long, it feels great to come forward and straighten those legs, right? Okay. Feet are parallel or pigeon-toed, and let's inhale those arms up. Now let's bring them center, backs of hands to touch. Go ahead and interlace them behind your back. Roll your shoulders down and back. We've got this big heart opener. Take a few breaths here. Creating space, right? All right, now we're going to hinge at the hips. Slowly fold forward into this wide leg forward fold. If it's comfortable for you to keep your hands clasped, keep them clasped and let the weight of your hands just fall forward. If that is not comfortable, you know our motto in yoga, no pain, right? So just release that. If you're in a wide leg forward fold this way, go ahead and just keep that for 1 minute. Not a real minute, just a few seconds. Now release those hands to the ground. All right, plant that left hand and let's just open that right arm to the side for a little twist. And release that down. Sweep the left arm up, or whichever arm you didn't do. A little twist. Sweep that down. Now go ahead and come up to your halfway lift position, okay? Belly is really pulled in, shoulders are away from ears, hands can be on your thighs. It can be airplane arms or hummingbird arms, whichever you prefer. Just for 3, 2, 1. And now let's release down. And maybe you want to make your stance a little bit wider when we go into this wide leg forward fold. Maybe you want to grab your block for your head to be on. Feet are still parallel. Hands can be on your ankles. You can reach through and be under your face, whatever you prefer. And just breathe. Try to release the tightness in your legs if you have it. Try to release into the pose. Wherever your hands are, go ahead and put them underneath your face. Maybe straighten those arms a little bit. Maybe you walk your feet in just a little bit. All right, we're going to just get ready for a slow roll up, letting those arms hang heavy. Awesome. Shoulders roll down and back. All right, now 2 options. You can heel toe your feet together, or go ahead and jump, bringing them together. Either way, right? Bottom line, so we get our feet together. All right, let's face the front of our mat if you're not already. Bring your feet out to the edges of the mat. Okay, we're gonna move into our yogi squat. So inhale those arms up high, bring them through heart center. And as you do that, we begin to bend into our yogi squat. Now, if a yogi squat isn't a comfortable option for you, you can heel toe a little bit further and stay more in this position. Okay, we still have this long spine. All right, if yogi squat is in your practice, go ahead and come down. Find that long spine, heart is lifted. Take your elbows into your legs. With your elbows, you're really pushing your legs apart. Feet are grounded on the floor. Keep breathing. Ooh, good time to release your neck by dropping your chin to your chest. Now, another option in yogi squat is you can always take a block down there in any position, okay? Because when we're in this squat, we haven't put all of our weight, we aren't sinking down, right? Our legs are engaged and energized. All right, from here, let's go ahead and place our hands behind us. We're just gonna slowly come down to our bum. All right. Awesome. Now, hug those knees to the chest just for a minute. All right, and now heel toe, keeping your knees bent, heel toe your knees out to the edge of the mat. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back. Fingers can be pointing towards your torso if that's comfortable, if not. So we've got a heart opener. Our feet are at the edges of our mat, and we're just gonna windshield wiper our knees to one side. And as we do, so my knees are going to the right side, and as we do that, I'm gonna look to the left. Now let's bring those knees center, and the knees fall to the left or whichever side you didn't do. Heart stays open. We're just looking in the opposite direction for a nice deep neck stretch. All right, let's come back to center. Go ahead and cross your legs just in that easy seated. And just let yourself fold forward, coming down to whatever level is comfortable for you. Few breaths here. Slowly roll up. Whichever foot was in the front, put that foot behind. And once again, just roll down into that forward fold. All right. Now coming to seated, maybe scoot back so you're about midpoint on your mat. We're going to let our left leg be long. Our right leg, our foot is coming into that inner thigh, knee is falling open. Okay. For a little forward fold. So we are going to inhale those arms up high, and on an exhale, we're just going to reach. We're just reaching straight forward, but we're doing one leg instead of both. And just let yourself release now and come down. Maybe your hands on your foot, maybe your hands are under your calves. Maybe you're partially down. Excellent. And breathe. Now let's slowly roll up. Go ahead and plant that foot on the floor so we're bringing that bent knee in. We've got our right knee bent. We're going to wrap it with our left hand. We're going to inhale that right arm up into the air, and we're just going to open and let the hand come down behind you for a little sage twist. Keep breathing. All right, let's come back to center. Let's send the right leg long, bring the left leg in. The foot is on the inner thigh, knee is falling open. And we are just going to move into that forward fold on this side. So when you are ready, we're going to square those hips, inhale those arms up. And on an exhale, just begin to reach forward. And when you're ready, go ahead then and let yourself round. So we kind of start with our long spine, and then in this one eventually we let ourselves just release. Breathe. Let that neck release. It's really tight right now. Again, hands can be wherever they're most comfortable. Let's slowly walk up. Walk our hands up, bring that left knee in. Take that right arm, wrap it around that left knee, find that nice long spine, and let's just, on an inhale, we open up that right arm, and on an exhale, we let it fall open behind us. And I do realize now it's the left arm. My rights and lefts are a little off today. Keep breathing. Keep that spine long. This is the side of my room where I have the breeze coming in. So we might stay here for about 20 minutes. All right, let's come back center. And we are just going to slowly roll down. So go ahead and adjust yourself on your mat. Knees can be bent if you prefer. You can straighten them either way. We find this long spine just like we did on our forward fold, and we just slowly roll down. Hands can be clasped in front of you. And once you get down, go ahead and find that full body stretch over your head. All right. Still with me? Has anybody fallen asleep yet? Especially if any of you are out in the sun, that'd be the best spot to be, right? You could just be toasty warm. Let's go ahead and bring our feet into that bridge position for a moment. Okay. And we are going to just do a couple bridges by bringing our heels close to our butt, close to our hands, if that works for us. When we're ready, we're going to lift those hips up high, slight tuck of the chin. All right, push into the feet. Breathe. Maybe nuzzle those shoulder blades in and clasp those hands if you want. Continue pushing into the feet, lifting, creating space in that spine. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly roll down. Bring those shoulders out, knees to chest. And one last bridge. Plant your feet. When you are ready, go ahead. Always know that it's an option, right? If you want that block between your legs. But when you are ready, go ahead. Peel those hips up off the ground. Push into those knees. Create length and strength in our back body. And now slowly release that down. Bringing those knees to the chest. Rock side to side for just a moment. Uno momento. Let those feet come into that bridge position. We're actually going to move into supine pigeon. So when you're ready, go ahead, take that right leg up, cross it over. Standing figure 4, but on our backs, which has a whole different feel, doesn't it? And if you wish, you can push that right upper thigh away from you a little bit. Chin is slightly tucked, neck is long. And go ahead when you want to and reach through to thread the needle, pulling that left leg back towards you, trying to release that hip. Be mindful if you wish to keep both feet flexed. And breathe. You can hear morning doves outside. Oh my goodness, and the Orioles have been just a singing. I'm refilling jelly like twice a day. All right, let's release and move to the other side. This time the left leg comes up, crosses over, whichever you didn't do. If you want to push that thigh away from you a little bit to open up that hip flexor, you're welcome to do that. If you want to go right to threading the needle, go ahead and do that. continue to breathe. You know, it's funny, I shared that bird quote, which I've shared again. I shouldn't call it the bird quote because it's really about belief, you know, and faith. But it is funny, as much as everything is changing around us, the things that stay consistent, and birds are one, which how lucky are we that it's spring right now and we can have that reassurance that they are continuing on their same path. All right, now let's release that. Send both of our legs long for just a minute. Wiggle out a little bit. And then bring that right knee to the chest. Roll that ankle a little bit. And then go ahead and put that knee so it's just directly above the hip. And we are just going to let it float over to the left side. Very gentle spinal twist. Right arm can come out to a T. Left arm can stay on top of that knee, or you can have that in a T. Whichever you do, try to keep your shoulder blades both ground in. Spinal twist, we want to be real mindful of knowing that if we have any discomfort, we want to adjust ourselves. You know, maybe we want to bring those hips back a little bit. Maybe we want to bring them forward a little bit. Whichever you want to do, but you want to get a nice twist in this upper body, but we don't want to stress the lower body. All right, let's come back in through center, and let's send the right leg long. Left knee comes to the chest. And then go ahead and put that knee above that hip. All right, and then just let that left leg float over for that spinal twist. Breathing. The deeper the stretch, sometimes the easier it is to hold our breath, and we don't even realize it, right? Go ahead and bring that knee back center. Bring both knees into your chest. Maybe you want to go into Supta Baddha Konasana because maybe you really want those knees to fall open and release. Maybe you want to go into your happy baby or your dead bug. Maybe you want to bend one leg, straighten one leg. Find that movement. And then when you're ready, bring those knees to the chest just for a last tight squeeze and then a full release. Let your toes open up, your feet flop open to the sides. Maybe nuzzle those shoulder blades under a little bit. Let those palms open to the sky. And we'll just stay here for a few breaths. Be here for just a couple more breaths. Maybe find some movement, maybe in your toes or your fingertips. Itch your nose like I have to. No, you don't have to itch your nose. It's a great thing about yoga, right? You really don't have to do anything. I'm just offering suggestions. Okay, when you are ready, move in the way you want to move, taking care of your body, and meet me in seated. thank you so much for coming out to practice today. If you're comfortable, you can stay where you are. Otherwise, go ahead and just inhale those arms up, come through center. The light in me honors, appreciates, is lifted by the light in you. May you continue to strengthen your hope muscle, right? May you continue to be reminded of the birds that feel the light and begin to sing while the dawn is still dark. Namaste. Thank you.